So what can we do to improve the situation for Saimaan salmon? Well, there's been quite recently, there's been a change in the school of thought or the way of thinking in conservation biology in general. Before, it was generally thought that populations such as Saimaan salmon, they have a unique gene pool, and it would be wrong to mix them with other populations because they may have unique adaptations to their local environment. That's still true, but what has been realized is that in many cases, the population sizes of these unique populations are becoming so small that the risk of inbreeding is therefore becoming so large that it's actually potentially doing more harm than good to keep them isolated and separated, and that they do in fact need some new flow of or input of genetic diversity in order for them to survive in the longer term. And that seems to be the case based on the evidence that we have now. I am of the opinion that that is the case for Saimaan salmon. So the one challenge that we have when thinking about introducing new genetic diversity to the Saimaan salmon population is which populations to use as the donors. Now, we don't actually have the ideal population. Perhaps the ideal population would be a landlocked population of lake salmon from Lake Ladoga, but that's or for example from one of the Swedish large lakes. But for practical reasons, it's not possible to use those populations at the moment. However, the next best candidates could be anadromous populations that migrate to the Baltic Sea. These are the same species as Saimaan salmon, and actually, although they migrate to the sea, from my Australian perspective, the Baltic Sea has such low salt concentration that it's almost a big lake. So we have the possibilities to test this strategy using salmon populations from the Tornio River and from the Neva River. In fact, Tornio and Neva salmon are also quite closely related to Saimaan salmon. If we just go back several thousand years to the end of the previous ice age, there was a big ice lake where most of where salmon lived, and those are the salmon that formed all of the populations inhabiting much of the Baltic Sea and the large lakes of Saimaa and Ladoga. So for this coming year, we'll be conducting trials with Tornio salmon and Neva salmon, but hopefully next year it will be possible also to include a Ladoga landlocked population from the river Hiipola. The Elinvoimainen and järvilohi project has, I believe, a great opportunity to really make a difference in saving Saimaan salmon, because it has a sound biological basis. There are a number of reasons why some input of genetic diversity is needed into the Saimaan salmon population. The population size has been very small for a long time. There are signs of inbreeding, and then we have closely related populations that we can test this with, and it will be done in a very careful and controlled manner to make sure that there are no unexpected surprises. I think one of the most important things about the project is that it's not just a bunch of researchers trying to find out something about Saimaan salmon, but it has all the different interest groups included. There are researchers, government officials, and then I think probably most importantly, many of the fishing region organizations are also on board and interested in helping to improve the conditions of Saimaan salmon, so that there can be more sustainable, so that there can be more fishing in a sustainable manner.